All right, happy Monday. Hope you had a nice weekend. Did you enjoy the rain yesterday? It was fine, right? You know what they say. You know what they say. We needed it. That's right. We needed the rain. Nice to have you with us on the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. I'm Jason DeRusha. Let's get into it. The weather for today is a little goofy, isn't it? Refreshing. Yeah, I think a lot of people wanted the break after temperatures in the 90s for so long. We've been above average almost, I believe, every day this month. So today will be below average, and it's just fine. It is very windy out there, it looks like. So be ready for that. High temperature, 67. First day of summer, first full day of summer is today. Doesn't feel summery for sure, but that's all right. Like, enjoy the change of pace, open the windows, and kind of air things out. Let's talk about this. We have our first look, really, as to what the Olympics in Tokyo will look like. Several headlines coming out this morning, and we thought you might want to talk about it. The Olympic Games, it looks like it's going to happen, first of all, just over a month away. So it looks like they're on track, and they are going to let fans show up. But consider what the fan experience will be like. Now, the top medical advisor in Japan has said no fans would be the safest way to go. But Japanese organizers are saying, yeah, we're going to have some fans. 50% capacity. All right, that seems smart. Maximum of 10,000 fans at each venue. Sure. Here are the rules. You got to wear a mask. All right, that's fine. You're supposed to just come to the event and then go straight home. No lollygagging. All right. Oh, and no cheering. Huh? No cheering. We want the fans in the stands, so on TV you see people here. You got to zip it. Would you go? If the Olympics were here, would you go to not cheer, wear a mask, and go straight home? Are these good rules? Are they bad rules? Who knows, right? Like, I'm no epidemiologist. I have no idea. Pretty weird, right? You see all these people quietly sitting there. Well, you won't see this part. Mask City. So we'll read through some of your comments in a moment. Go ahead and chime in. Look forward to hearing what you have to say. 4th of July, less than 2 weeks away now. We're close, right? And President Joe Biden's COVID-19 vaccine goal, it's not going to happen. So far, more than 65% of the country's adults have received at least one dose of a COVID vaccine, which is pretty great, right? Like, good accomplishment there. But the president said we were going to hit 70% by July 4th. That was the goal. It seemed ambitious, but then people were getting vaccinated so quickly that it seemed like, wow, we're going to hit it, no problem. And now we're back again just thinking, it's not looking great. There is concern, and we don't know, right? I mean, concern is what health officials are supposed to be sharing, right? And some are worried about a fall resurgence because the highly contagious Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus has been identified in more than 40 states, including Minnesota. So there are concerns about that. So if you haven't gotten vaccinated, do it. Here in the Twin Cities, large crowds and festivals are back in action. This was great to see. Stone Arch Bridge Festival, yeah, it poured at one point, didn't it? But this was the first major festival since the mask mandate was lifted in Minneapolis. And we spoke with a vendor from Duluth who told us, yeah, I was nervous about this, but it changed when they saw the crowds.
We've been doing this for a long time, but we were nervous yesterday. We're like, are people going to still do this art fair thing?
It felt like we'd never done a show before.
I bet they've gone. Think about this. If you're an artist and you mainly did these shows, you did the art fair circuit, it's been a year plus. So the next big art festival is the Minnehaha Art Fair. That is the weekend of July 16th. United States is saying to Canada, fine, you don't want our people to come to Canada, we don't want your people to come here. The borders, the land borders, are still closed. The Department of Homeland Security says non-essential travel to Canada and Mexico is restricted until at least July 21st. This has been a real rough deal, especially for people in the angle here in Minnesota. You know, if you live right by Canada, say you live in Minnesota and you've got a boyfriend or a girlfriend across the border, you can't go visit. Kind of weird, right? It's been closed since March of 2020. Mexico has allowed Americans to fly into the country, but I've got a friend in Toronto that I would love to go visit. Tom, I miss you. Border's still closed. Some prospective college students can save a little money this week. It's not a huge amount of money, but sometimes college application fees, even when the fee, I think Minnesota State, the system, generally it's about a $20 application fee, but that can be a barrier for people. So this is a good week. All of the colleges and universities, I think there are 30 colleges. We used to call it MnSCU, but now it's the Minnesota College System. All of them are waiving application fees, so that's great. So if you have someone in your life who might be inclined to apply to one of the Minnesota State colleges or universities, let's go. Good week to do it. They'll be doing informational events and campus tours, all sorts of stuff going on this week. American Airlines is canceling hundreds of flights through mid-July. So you may have booked a flight on American and it may get wiped out. At least 50 to 80 cancellations a day going forward. And the airline says, just like everybody else, we have a labor shortage. And that is coinciding with a surge in demand for air travel. And then bad weather. They say bad weather is a factor too. So all of these things going together to mean flights canceled. If you booked through July 15th, you'll get notified so you can try to adjust your travel plans. But a bummer there for sure if you thought you were going somewhere. It is a little like Black Friday during the summer. So many retailers competing for your cash by offering big deals this week. How good are these deals? Are they good? Are they not? I mean, I guess if it's a deal on something you're going to buy anyway at Amazon's Prime Day, then it's a great deal, right? Target has deal days. Everybody's got the deals. That started last night through tomorrow night, so that's 24 hours longer than last year. Got an email from Best Buy. They've got flash sales going on. Walmart slashing some prices. Another option is you don't have to buy anything, and you have just saved 100%. It's math. Adobe Analytics says 58% of customers say they plan to shop online during Prime Day. 31% say they're going to use some money from their stimmy. Little stimulus check. So good. If you need things, great. Great time to save some money. If you don't need things, you are not saving money by buying things on sale. I hate to break it to you. A Minneapolis man achieved a remarkable feat this weekend. This is such a great story. This guy completed Grandma's Marathon in Duluth. First of all, impressive enough to run a marathon, but he does it less than a year after a bone marrow transplant. James Kirkham got that life-saving transplant last July after being diagnosed with leukemia. The anonymous donor, he doesn't know who it was, perfect match. He says his prognosis without the transplant was 4 to 12 months to live. As soon as he knew it was successful, he set a goal to run, and he told WCCO his most important source of motivation.
My daughters, this is Father's Day, my daughters carry me through that, and my wife, Shelley Moret, who happens to be a nurse and a doctor, family is key to being able to go through this, as well as your healthcare providers.
Saturday was the 42nd time that James has completed Grandma's Marathon. He's going to do it again next year, and he will be 70 years old. We're talking about the Olympics today. I want to show you inside the Olympic Village where athletes will stay in Tokyo. This is high design, pretty cool looking. Normally the Olympic Village, well, if you know who would thrive at the Olympic Village? Nick Cannon, right? Yeah, I would. It's going to be a little different, supposedly. I don't know. Do we think it'll be that different? It's kind of weird that your bed has a cardboard headboard. It's sort of an antisocial sanitized bubble that they're trying to create, full of COVID testing, health centers staying apart from one another. Design looks cool. Opening ceremony is on July 23rd. Does anyone believe that Olympians from all over the world aren't going to hang out together? They're all just going to, and by hang out, I mean, you know what I mean. Nick Cannon, my gosh. I'm sorry we didn't have that story for you in the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update, but whoa, happy Father's Day ×7 to the former host of Wild 'N Out, Nick Cannon. Okay, let's talk about the Olympics. Would you go to an Olympic Games where you didn't cheer? No cheering would be a deal breaker. That's one of the restrictions, no cheering. Thanks, Todd. Leanne says, if I had the opportunity to attend, I would totally go, especially gymnastics. Wouldn't it be hard to watch gymnastics and not go nuts when you see Suni Lee up on the medal stand, St. Paul's own? I would go too. Thanks, Leah. Michelle Miller, I go for the experience, but I'd probably be dragged out of there for cheering loudly because I forgot I couldn't. Exactly. Like, is this going to be like at a high school graduation ceremony where Principal Bob says, please hold your applause until we finish reading all the names? And of course, nobody can do that. Thanks, Michelle. Melody says, if it was my child, I'd endure. If it were your child in the Olympics, Melody? All right. Is your child an Olympian? That's amazing. If my child were an Olympian, I would indeed go and not cheer. Otherwise, not worth the trip. Probably true. Thanks, Melody. Ridiculous rules, says Linda. I would love to attend. What happens if you cheer? I don't know what the laws are in Japan. What does happen if you cheer at the Olympics? That's probably, that's 20 days in prison, I bet. It's great dishonor. Becca says, with these rules, the only way I'd go is if I knew one of the athletes. Two people saying if you knew someone, you would suffer through. I would hope so. If you're friends in the Olympics, wouldn't you go? Of course you would. You absolutely would go. Here's the thing. Being forced to not cheer at the Olympics, it's kind of like going to a Minnesota sporting event, right? It's the obvious low-hanging fruit here for you on a Monday. Happy birthday to Heather Brown. Today is her birthday. So celebrate, give Heather a shout out, and also a happy birthday to my 16-year-old Seth. Heather and Seth share a birthday. How am I old enough to have a 16-year-old? Unclear. Unclear. Boy. Comes at you fast. It really does. Thanks for watching the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. We appreciate you spending the time with us, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow.